Aging is an inevitable part of life, but the process isn't just about wrinkles or slowing down. As we age, certain habits can sneak in, often unnoticed, that can make life more challenging and even a bit lonely. These habits don't just impact our own well-being. They can also put a strain on our relationships and social connections. The worst part? Many seniors don't realize they're doing them. In this video, we'll uncover 12 unpleasant habits that commonly develop as people get older. Habits that no one ever warns you about. From negativity to refusing help, we'll talk about the small behaviors that slowly creep in over time, why they happen, and most importantly, how you can break free from them to live a fuller, more connected life. Whether you're in your golden years or have loved ones who are, this video will shed light on how to recognize these habits and, with a few simple changes, improve your relationships, health, and happiness, because aging should be about growth, not decline. It's never too late to make a positive change. If you found this content helpful and relatable, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing tips. Your support helps us bring more meaningful advice to people just like you. Let's dive in. 1. Constant complaining. As we age, it's natural to feel frustrated with the changes happening in our lives. The body slows down, things we used to take for granted become more difficult, and the world around us seems to move faster than we can keep up. Complaining can feel like a natural response, especially when we've experienced decades of change, loss, and challenges. But here's the thing. Constant complaining can drain not only your own energy, but the energy of everyone around you. Julie, for example, found herself grumbling more often about the aches and pains of getting older, the state of the world, and how things used to be better back in my day. At first, she thought it was harmless, but over time, she noticed that conversations with friends became shorter, and family members started avoiding her calls. She didn't realize it, but her constant complaints created a barrier between herself and those who once enjoyed her company. Why does this happen? As we age, we've seen it all. We've experienced highs and lows, and sometimes venting can feel like the only way to cope with the frustrations of life. However, it's important to recognize that while venting can feel relieving in the short term, it can lead to social isolation in the long run. How to fix it? Start by replacing complaints with gratitude. Instead of focusing on what's going wrong, try focusing on the positives. For example, instead of complaining about your knee pain, say, "I'm grateful for the mobility I still have." Instead of criticizing the world's state, acknowledge the good things happening around you. This shift in mindset will not only improve your own mood, but also make your conversations more enjoyable for those around you. Here's a quick challenge. The next time you catch yourself about to complain, pause and think of something positive to say instead. It could be as simple as appreciating a beautiful sunset, enjoying a good cup of coffee, or feeling grateful for the time spent with loved ones. If you've noticed a shift in your conversations lately, or if you've caught yourself complaining too often, share your experience in the comments. Let's inspire each other to focus more on gratitude and less on what's going wrong. 2. Oversharing. As we age, it's natural to crave connection and share our life experiences. We've lived through so much, and sometimes we feel the need to open up and share everything, from personal health issues to family drama. However, while sharing can help us feel connected, there's a fine line between sharing and oversharing. Julie, once the heart of her community, had always been the go-to person for advice and conversation. But over time, she began to notice that people were pulling away. When she shared personal details, whether it was about her latest doctor's appointment or struggles with her children, she noticed people starting to look uncomfortable or quickly change the subject. Her attempts at bonding had unintentionally pushed people away. Why does this happen? As we get older, we often value deeper, more meaningful conversations. After all, we've experienced so much that it can feel therapeutic to share it. But here's the issue. Not everyone is prepared for such personal details, especially in casual settings. Oversharing can make others feel uncomfortable, even if that's not our intention. How to fix it? Before you share personal details, ask yourself, would I want to hear this from someone else? If the answer is no, it might be time to hold back. For instance, sharing a story about your health issues or financial struggles might be better suited for close friends or family members who are genuinely interested and can provide support. In everyday conversations, try to keep things light and reciprocal. Ask others about their lives and show interest in their experiences. Balance is key. Share just enough to connect, but avoid overwhelming others with too much information. This creates a healthier and more engaging exchange. For example, instead of jumping into a lengthy discussion about your recent surgery, ask your neighbor how their day went or talk about an interesting book you're reading. It keeps the conversation flowing and ensures both parties feel heard and valued. Have you ever found yourself oversharing or been on the receiving end of it? Let us know in the comments below. Sharing these experiences can help all of us avoid the habit of overwhelming others with too much information and keep our conversations enjoyable and connected. 3. Refusing to try new things. As we age, it's easy to fall into a routine. We've lived through decades of experiences, and there's comfort in familiarity. Whether it's the same meals, TV shows, or daily activities, sticking with what we know can feel safe and reassuring. However, this reluctance to try new things can quietly chip away at our mental and emotional well-being. Julie, for example, found herself sticking to the same old routine. She ate the same meals, watched the same TV shows, and rarely ventured out of her comfort zone. She felt no need to change. It was comfortable. But one day she realized that she wasn't growing anymore. She wasn't challenging herself, and she was missing out on the little joys that novelty brings. This reluctance to try new things started to affect her mood, making her feel more isolated and less connected to the world around her. Why does this happen? As we age, we tend to value stability over change. We've already lived through so much, and stepping outside of our comfort zones can feel intimidating. The fear of failure, the energy required to learn something new, or simply the inertia of routine can make trying new things seem unnecessary. But here's the catch. Avoiding new experiences can lead to mental stagnation. Our brains thrive on novelty. When we stop challenging ourselves, we risk becoming disengaged and disconnected from the world around us. How to fix it? It doesn't have to be a big change. Start small and challenge yourself to try one new thing each week. It could be something as simple as trying a new food, watching a new TV show, or taking a different route during your walk. If technology seems daunting, start with learning one new feature on your phone or a new app. If socializing feels out of reach, say yes to a small social gathering or a local event you might normally turn down. Trying new things not only keeps your brain active and engaged, but also boosts your confidence. It might even lead to discovering a new hobby or interest you never knew you had. The important thing is to stay curious and open to new experiences, whether it's a different restaurant, a new skill, or even just a new perspective on life. Julie took the plunge and decided to try something new. She accepted an invitation to a community art class. To her surprise, she loved it. It wasn't about becoming a professional artist. It was about breaking out of the old routine and connecting with others in a new way. That simple decision brought back a spark of excitement and engagement in her life. If you've ever hesitated to try something new, now is the perfect time to break that habit. What's one thing you'd like to try? Share it with us in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to embrace change and keep exploring no matter our age. 4. Focusing too much on the past. Nostalgia can be a beautiful thing. It's comforting to look back on fond memories, especially when life seemed simpler or when we had more energy. But when the past becomes the primary focus of our conversations and thoughts, it can inadvertently distance us from the present and future. Living in the past can trap us in a cycle of regret, longing for a time that's gone and can never be recreated. Julie found herself reminiscing more and more about the good old days. He often spoke of how things were better back then. The music, the manners, the way life was simpler. While there's nothing wrong with a little nostalgia, Julie noticed that these conversations, especially with younger people, started to feel repetitive and one-sided. His grandchildren, who used to enjoy hearing these stories, began avoiding them, feeling disconnected from the world he was describing. Why does this happen? As we get older, we naturally begin reflecting more on our past. We've lived through a lot, and memories often feel more abundant than future possibilities. It can become easier to relive those moments rather than engage with the present. But here's the issue: focusing too much on the past can make us seem out of touch with the present. It can also make us appear disconnected from the world around us, especially to younger generations who don't have the same frame of reference. How to fix it? The key to balancing nostalgia with engagement is curiosity and openness. Instead of focusing solely on the good old days, ask about the present. Take an interest in the lives of those around you, especially younger generations. Ask your children or grandchildren what excites them today. What are their favorite trends, hobbies, or goals? This helps you stay connected with the current world and also shows that you value their experiences. You can still share your memories and wisdom, but try to relate them to the present. For example, instead of only talking about how things were better in the past, share how the lessons you learned from that time still apply today. This allows you to connect across generations and shows that you're engaged with the world around you, not just the one you left behind. Julie eventually started to shift his focus. He still shared stories, but he made an effort to ask his grandkids about their lives. He became genuinely curious about their favorite shows, apps, and hobbies. As a result, their conversations became more balanced, and he felt more connected to his family than he had in years. Reflect on your own habits. Are you finding yourself stuck in the past? How can you engage more with the present? Let us know in the comments below how you balance nostalgia with curiosity, and share how you stay connected with those around you. 5. Overly harsh judgments. As we age, it's natural to reflect on the past and compare it to the present. The world changes, and sometimes it feels overwhelming or frustrating. Technology, new cultural norms, and different ways of living can be hard to understand, especially when they seem so far removed from what we know. This can lead to harsh judgments, where we dismiss or criticize younger generations or new trends without truly understanding them. Julie had always prided herself on having strong values and a clear sense of right and wrong. But as she saw how much the world had changed, she became increasingly frustrated. "Back in my day, we had respect," she would say. "Kids today don't understand hard work," she'd mutter. While her judgments may have been rooted in genuine concern for the values she cherished, Julie didn't realize how much this was distancing her from her family, especially her younger relatives. Her comments made her grandchildren feel criticized rather than understood, and over time they began to avoid discussing their lives with her. Why does this happen? As we age, we naturally compare the values, customs, and lifestyles of today with those we grew up with. These comparisons can lead to judgmental attitudes where we feel that the past was somehow better, more respectful, or more hardworking. But here's the problem. Every generation has its own set of challenges and experiences. What worked in the past may not work today, and that's okay. Dismissing today's culture without understanding it only creates walls between generations. How to fix it? Instead of judging, try to approach differences with curiosity. Ask questions instead of making assumptions. For instance, instead of saying, "Why do kids spend all their time on their phones?" ask, "What do you enjoy most about using your phone or social media?" This shows that you care about understanding their experiences rather than criticizing them. Try to see the world through their eyes. Another key is to recognize that change isn't always bad, it's just different. Just because something isn't the way it was in the past doesn't mean it's wrong. Embrace the idea that change brings new opportunities and challenges, and that younger generations are navigating a very different world than the one you grew up in. Julie took this approach and began asking her grandchildren about their favorite apps and what they found exciting about technology. Rather than judging, she started engaging with them about their interests, and this opened up new ways for them to bond. Instead of pushing them away with harsh judgments, Julie built a bridge of understanding, showing that she valued their experiences. If you find yourself passing judgment on the way younger generations live or the changes happening around you, take a moment to reflect. Are you open to understanding them better? How can you approach today's world with curiosity and an open mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's learn together how we can foster better connections with people of all ages. 6. Neglecting personal hygiene and appearance. As we age, maintaining personal hygiene and appearance often takes a back seat. It's easy to justify skipping that extra shower, not styling your hair, or wearing comfortable clothes every day. After all, who do we need to impress? The reality is that neglecting our personal care isn't just about how we look. It's about how we feel and how others perceive us. Julie, once known for her bright outfits and polished look, found herself gradually slipping into a routine where she no longer bothered with grooming. She stopped wearing makeup, wore loose old clothes, and only showered when necessary. She thought, "It doesn't matter anymore, I'm not going out as much." But over time, she noticed a subtle shift in how people interacted with her. Strangers no longer complimented her, and friends didn't invite her to social outings as often. When she looked in the mirror, she barely recognized the woman staring back at her. Why does this happen? Aging often brings a shift in priorities. As we slow down, it may feel easier to let go of the small things like dressing up or maintaining grooming habits. Additionally, feelings of loneliness, depression, or simply not seeing the point in looking our best can contribute to neglecting personal care. But the truth is, how we present ourselves affects not only how others see us, but also how we feel about ourselves. How to fix it? The good news is making small adjustments can have a big impact on both your confidence and how others perceive you. Start by setting simple self-care goals. Get dressed every day, even if it's just a comfortable outfit that makes you feel good. You don't have to be in formal wear, but putting on clean, well-fitting clothes can instantly lift your mood and confidence. Maintain a basic grooming routine. Brush your hair, wash your face, trim your nails, and shower regularly. These simple acts of self-care tell your brain, "I matter," and they reinforce your dignity and well-being. Another easy fix is to wear something that makes you feel good. A colorful scarf, a favorite pair of earrings, or a spritz of perfume can brighten your day and help you feel more engaged with the world. When Julie started brushing her hair, wearing her favorite blouse, and adding a touch of lipstick, she noticed an immediate change in how she felt. People began to smile at her again, and she felt more alive and connected. Looking after your appearance isn't about vanity. It's about maintaining a sense of self-respect and showing the world that you're still vibrant and engaged, no matter your age. Taking care of yourself enhances your mood, boosts your confidence, and fosters stronger social connections. Do you struggle with maintaining your appearance or hygiene? What small changes could you make to feel better every day? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you stay connected to your self-care routine no matter your age. 7. Pushing people away instead of asking for help. As we age, our independence becomes an important part of who we are. Many seniors like Julie have spent their whole lives taking care of others, managing households, and handling responsibilities. It's only natural to want to maintain that independence as we get older. But sometimes this desire for self-reliance can become a barrier to accepting help, even when it's needed the most. Julie prided herself on being able to do everything on her own. She had raised children, cared for a home, and helped neighbors for years, so asking for help felt like a weakness. One day, she was struggling with a heavy grocery bag, and a kind young man passing by offered to help. "No, thank you," Julie smiled politely, not wanting to burden him. She insisted she could handle it, but as she dragged the bag inside, the weight of the task became unbearable. It wasn't just physical exhaustion she felt, it was the loneliness of pushing someone away when she could have accepted their kindness. Why does this happen? Over time, we develop a strong sense of pride in our ability to handle things on our own. This desire for independence can sometimes make us refuse help, even when it would make our lives easier and more fulfilling. But here's the problem. By continually pushing others away, we isolate ourselves. We might think that refusing help makes us stronger, but in reality it makes us feel more alone and disconnected. How to fix it? The key to overcoming this habit is to recognize that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's an opportunity for connection and shared humanity. Accepting help allows others to feel needed and valued, and it can create a bond that strengthens your relationships. Start small. The next time someone offers help, practice saying, "Yes, that would be great, thank you." Even if you feel reluctant at first, accepting assistance fosters warmth and encourages more meaningful interactions. Whether it's asking a friend for help with groceries or allowing a family member to take on a task you usually handle. Accepting help helps you stay connected to others and reinforces that you don't have to face everything alone. Julie, after much reflection, decided to accept help the next time she saw the same young man. She smiled and said, "Actually, I could use a little help today." His face brightened, and they shared a moment of kindness that Julie hadn't experienced in a while. That simple exchange helped her realize that asking for help wasn't about being a burden. It was about allowing herself to connect with others, strengthening her relationships, and creating a more fulfilling life. If you struggle with asking for help, remember that it's okay to lean on others. Life becomes richer and more meaningful when we allow ourselves to accept the kindness and support of those around us. Have you ever struggled to ask for help? Or have you experienced the joy of helping someone else? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. 8. Being too frugal to enjoy life. As we age, many of us become more focused on saving and being financially cautious. Years of managing budgets, saving for the future, and being careful with money are ingrained habits. While being financially responsible is important, it can sometimes turn into an obsession that holds us back from truly enjoying the fruits of our labor and the experiences life has to offer. Julie had always been careful with money, clipping coupons, skipping vacations, and hesitating before making any purchase that wasn't absolutely necessary. Though she had a comfortable amount saved, she couldn't help but worry. What if something unexpected happens? What if I need this money later? One day, her best friend Linda invited her on a weekend trip to the countryside. Julie's first instinct was to say no. Spending money on travel and meals out seems unnecessary, she thought. But then a small voice inside her asked, "When was the last time I actually treated myself?" She realized she had spent so much time saving for an uncertain future that she had forgotten to live in the present. Why does this happen? For many seniors, the need to feel financially secure becomes paramount. After all, we've worked hard all our lives to build savings for retirement and the unexpected. But when this frugality prevents us from enjoying life's simple pleasures, like going out for a meal, taking a trip, or treating ourselves to something special, we risk missing out on the joy and fulfillment these experiences bring. How to fix it? The key is finding a balance between saving for the future and enjoying the present. It's important to be mindful of your financial security, but it's equally important to allow yourself moments of joy, relaxation, and adventure. Start by giving yourself permission to enjoy life's experiences, whether it's a weekend getaway, a special dinner, or investing in a hobby you've always wanted to try. Julie finally said yes to the weekend trip, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions she made. She spent the weekend laughing, exploring new places, and enjoying the time with her best friend. When she returned, she felt rejuvenated, as if she had rediscovered a part of herself that had been missing for far too long. The trip wasn't just about spending money. It was about making memories and embracing the present. You don't have to break the bank to enjoy life, but allowing yourself those special moments of enjoyment can have a profound impact on your overall happiness. Start by setting aside a portion of your savings specifically for experiences and fun. Life isn't just about working hard, it's about living well. If you've been putting off something you'd love to do because of financial concerns, maybe now's the time to change that mindset. What's one experience you've been hesitant to enjoy due to cost? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's encourage each other to embrace life's joys, big and small. 9. Talking down to younger generations. As we age, it's natural to reflect on the world we grew up in, comparing it to the way things are now. We've seen so many changes over the years, from technological advancements to shifts in social norms. While this reflection is part of life, it can sometimes lead to a tendency to criticize younger generations for how they live their lives. Back in my day, we didn't have all these distractions, or "kids today don't know how to work hard," are phrases that might sound familiar. While these thoughts may come from a place of concern or nostalgia, they can unintentionally create a divide between us and younger people. Julie, who had always been very close to her grandson Ethan, started noticing that their conversations were becoming more strained. He would tell her about his favorite video games or the latest social media trends, and Julie would dismiss them, saying things like, "In my day, we actually spent time outside." Ethan, who once loved visiting her, began to feel like Julie didn't understand or appreciate his world. Eventually, their conversations became shorter, and the warmth they once shared faded. Why does this happen? With age comes experience, and it's easy to feel that our way of doing things is the right way. But what we forget is that every generation has its own unique set of challenges and opportunities. The world is different now than it was when we were younger, and that's okay. What feels unfamiliar or even uncomfortable to us can be normal for the younger generation. Unfortunately, when we constantly talk down to them, we risk alienating them and missing the opportunity to connect on a deeper level. How to fix it? The solution is to embrace curiosity and understanding. Instead of dismissing the way younger generations live, take the time to ask questions and learn about their experiences. Instead of saying, "Why are you always on your phone?" try saying, "What do you enjoy most about social media?" Or, "What's the most exciting thing you've learned from that app?" This approach opens the door to meaningful conversations where both generations can learn from each other. Julie started to take this approach with Ethan. Instead of criticizing his interests, she began asking him to explain things she didn't understand. When he talked about his favorite game, she asked what strategies he used and why he liked it so much. This simple shift in mindset allowed her to see his world through his eyes, and their conversations became more engaging and respectful. It's not about changing younger generations, it's about understanding them. The world is different, but that doesn't mean it's worse or wrong. By staying open-minded and curious, we can build stronger, more meaningful connections with those around us, no matter their age. Have you ever caught yourself talking down to younger people, or have you felt misunderstood by someone from an older generation? Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's discuss how we can better connect across generations. 10. Holding on to grudges and regrets. As we age, it's common to look back on our lives and think about the things we could have done differently, the mistakes we made, the opportunities we missed, or the relationships that ended poorly. We may carry around the weight of past hurts, whether it's a betrayal by a friend, a disagreement with a family member, or a decision we regret. While reflecting on these moments is natural, holding on to grudges and regrets can create unnecessary emotional baggage that impacts our present and future happiness. Julie had been carrying the burden of a long-standing grudge against a friend who had betrayed her many years ago. She also regretted not reconciling with her sister after a falling out. These unresolved issues weighed heavily on her heart, affecting her mood and her ability to fully enjoy the present. The more she dwelled on them, the more isolated she felt. It wasn't until her neighbor Linda pointed it out that Julie realized how much these lingering grudges were affecting her relationships and her peace of mind. Why does this happen? As we age, we accumulate experiences, both good and bad. We may not always know how to let go of past hurts, especially when they involve deep emotional wounds. The idea of forgiving someone or letting go of regret can feel like we're excusing bad behavior or admitting that we were wrong. But holding on to these negative emotions doesn't serve us, it only keeps us stuck in the past. How to fix it? The first step in letting go of grudges and regrets is to acknowledge that the past can't be changed. The decisions we made, the words we said, and the relationships that were lost are all part of our life's journey. But they don't define who we are today. Forgiving someone, whether it's another person or yourself, doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It means freeing yourself from its hold. Julie realized that her grudge against her friend and her regret over her sister were preventing her from fully enjoying the present. She decided to write a letter to her sister, expressing her feelings and asking for forgiveness. While she didn't expect things to be immediately fixed, the simple act of releasing her emotions and opening the door to reconciliation made her feel lighter and more at peace. She also reached out to her old friend and found that surprisingly they were able to talk through their differences, which led to a sense of closure. Instead of ruminating on what could have been, focus on what you can do now. Practice forgiveness, not for the other person but for yourself. Freeing yourself from past grudges will help you find emotional freedom and create space for new positive experiences. If you struggle with letting go, write down your feelings and then let them go. Whether it's tearing up the paper or burning it as a symbolic release. Julie felt the weight lifting as she let go of her past regrets. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of emotional lightness. She began to enjoy her time with family and friends more, no longer haunted by the ghosts of the past. Have you ever struggled with holding on to a grudge or regret? How did you move forward? Share your story in the comments below, and let's talk about how we can all find peace by letting go of what no longer serves us. 11. Ignoring health problems. As we age, it's easy to dismiss minor health concerns, thinking they're just part of getting older. A bit of joint pain? It's normal. Occasional dizziness? Just age catching up. But ignoring health problems can be dangerous, as small symptoms can signal much larger issues. By brushing things off, we risk serious conditions going undiagnosed, making them harder to treat later on. Julie, for example, had been feeling a bit dizzy when standing up, and her vision seemed blurrier than usual. But she convinced herself that it was simply a part of aging. It's just what happens when you get older, she thought. But one morning, as she reached for a coffee mug in the kitchen, the dizziness hit her harder than ever, and she lost her balance, falling to the floor. The pain in her hip was excruciating, and when she was finally seen at the hospital, the doctor explained that the fall could have been prevented if she had caught the issue earlier. Why does this happen? As we age, we tend to downplay symptoms because we associate them with getting older. We may feel like they are just part of the aging process, or we worry about being a burden to others. Additionally, the fear of bad news may cause us to avoid seeing a doctor altogether, hoping that things will improve on their own. But ignoring symptoms doesn't solve the problem. It only increases the risk of a more serious health crisis down the line. How to fix it? The first step is to listen to your body. If something feels off, whether it's pain, dizziness, or fatigue, don't ignore it. Schedule a checkup with your doctor to get an accurate diagnosis. Many health conditions, when caught early, can be treated or managed more effectively. Don't be afraid to ask questions or get second opinions if something doesn't feel right. Julie's experience with her fall served as a wake-up call. She made a promise to herself that she would no longer ignore her health. She began scheduling regular doctor's appointments, started drinking more water to stay hydrated, and even joined a balance class at the community center to improve her coordination. These small steps made a big difference in her health, and she felt more in control of her well-being. It's important to prioritize your health and get regular checkups, even if you feel fine. Regular screenings can catch potential issues early, and being proactive about your health will give you a better chance at enjoying your later years with vitality and independence. Taking care of yourself is not just about physical health. It's about emotional well-being too. Have you ever ignored a health issue that turned out to be more serious? Or have you taken proactive steps to improve your health? Share your story in the comments below. Let's talk about how we can all stay on top of our health and live our best lives no matter our age. 12. Avoiding fun and laughter. As we get older, it's easy to slip into a routine where life feels more about responsibilities than enjoyment. We prioritize tasks, chores, and obligations, often putting off fun activities for later. The mindset of, "I have too much to do," can overshadow the need for joy. And as a result, we forget that fun isn't just for the young. It's essential for maintaining a youthful spirit at any age. Julie, once the life of the party, had gotten caught in the cycle of routine. She woke up, did her chores, watched TV, and went to bed. Laughter, spontaneity, and play had become distant memories. When her neighbor Linda invited her to a movie night, Julie hesitated. "I don't really feel like it," she thought. But she went anyway, and as the movie played, something incredible happened. Julie found herself laughing, really laughing. The kind of laugh that makes your stomach hurt and tears roll down your face. It had been so long since she'd felt that free and joyful. Why does this happen? As we age, physical limitations, lower energy levels, and the sense of needing to act our age can make us feel like fun and laughter are no longer appropriate. Loneliness, depression, or a lack of social interaction can also make it hard to find joy. But here's the truth. Prioritizing fun isn't just about being silly, it's about staying engaged with life, boosting our mental health, and strengthening our relationships. How to fix it? It's time to reintroduce play and laughter into your life. The first step is to stop seeing fun as something only for the young. Laughter and joy are essential at every stage of life, and they can have a profound impact on your emotional and physical well-being. Laughter reduces stress, boosts circulation, strengthens relationships, and even improves memory. Start by making time for activities that make you happy. Whether that's watching a comedy, playing a game, dancing, or spending time with people who lift your spirits. Julie, after her movie night with Linda, realized how much she missed laughter. She made an effort to schedule fun into her routine, whether it was joining a local social group, attending a comedy show, or simply playing music and dancing around her kitchen. Don't let your age define your joy. Embrace the simple pleasures. Listen to music that makes you smile, engage in hobbies you love, and surround yourself with people who make you laugh. Find the things that bring you joy and make time for them. Julie's commitment to bringing joy back into her life made a huge difference. She felt lighter, more connected to others, and most importantly, more alive. It's never too late to rediscover the joy of laughter and fun. What's one thing you could do today to bring more laughter and fun into your life? Share it with us in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to make room for joy no matter our age. Aging is a natural part of life, but that doesn't mean we have to fall into habits that diminish our joy, health, and relationships. The 12 habits we've covered, complaining too much, oversharing, resisting change, focusing too much on the past, and many others, are all things that can slowly creep in without us even realizing it. The good news is that these habits can be changed, and it's never too late to make small adjustments that lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. Julie's story is just one example of how recognizing these habits and taking proactive steps can bring about positive change. By choosing to embrace gratitude over complaints, listen more than talk, and welcome new experiences, she found herself more connected, happier, and even healthier. You have the same power to rewrite your story and create a future filled with more connection, joy, and purpose. So, which of these habits have you recognized in yourself or someone you know? What small change can you make today to live a more vibrant and engaged life? Remember, aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can be a time of growth, learning, and joy. The key is to stay curious, embrace change, and keep making time for the things that make you feel alive. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on aging well, staying sharp, and living life to the fullest. Your support helps us bring more valuable tips to people just like you. Thanks for watching, and let's continue to make every year the best one yet.